Good morning, evening, or afternoon, everybody. It's Kaghoe coming at you with another video. So today, we're going to be talking about a little bit of a different kind of video than I usually do. I'm going to be talking about the most controversial change that they're doing for Phase 6, and I think it is a really bad idea here in Phase 6, especially with everything that has been going on. People over on playing fresh, people playing hardcore, so many people are going elsewhere, and it's caused a lot of issues in getting people to join guilds, as well as it also creates a hole for people that were already doing this. But before we get into the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Everything you guys do helps my channel grow, helps me get discovered, and helps me help as many people as possible, which is the entire point of my channel. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So the biggest change that I'm talking about is when MC came out, and mainly BWL came out, but people have been asking for this since MC, and it was to allow 40-man raids. They didn't do it in Phase 4 when Phase 4 was live, but when we got to BWL, they gave us BWL on 40-man and ZG on 20-man, allowing that, as well as they gave us the world bosses that way from the get-go. So, like, you could take 40 people to Onyxia, Azurgos, and Kazakh, but you couldn't do it for Molten Core. So Molten Core was still that hardlock 20. Well, we got to Phase 5, and they just opened it up to allow everyone to have 40 for BWL. They even allowed us to have 40 for MC after the fact, which was nice. It helped a lot for consolidating and getting those extra legendaries, just going in there and blasting it once it was a raid tier behind. But a lot of people love that 40-man rating, and while the numbers might be 1% of the player base, we'll get into more of that, it's still 1% of the player base, and people that operate off of a precedent that was set, and the only answer to that is to kick people and say, oh, well, you can't come with us, you can't raid anymore, you can't play the game how you want to play. And I think that is a huge problem, and that is why it's a big mistake, because the only thing it really does is hurt people. Like, it literally only stops that 1% of players from playing the game. Getting punched in the face is essentially what's happening to them. So I'm going to go over here to a few articles and show you guys the outrage and where people are with it before we go into more of my thoughts. So here is on Twitter on November 19th, so almost a week ago. Grok here asked him, he said, "Hey Agrin, hope you're doing well. I'd potentially like to inquire as to why the decision was made to squash the player cap in raids from 40 to 25 and 20 to 15. A lot of us have built rosters based on the precedent you all set, and now we will need to bench people. The data indicated the vast majority of guilds, 99% plus, raid with less than 25, and from our own experience playing with more than that in these raids, tuned for 20 felt quite silly. Combine that with the fact that the more people you have, the more loot competition. It can feel bad with too many mouths to feed. Ultimately, we are trying things, and the 20-player raids allowing 40 was another experiment. We might pivot again later if we feel we need to." She said, "I appreciate the response. We'll do our best to adjust with our guild, but I politely ask also what's the harm in continuing to let it be optional up to 40. I understand your POV, but pivoting throughout style, it has really messed up guilds. Then, may I ask if the decision was influenced by Warcraft logs?" That's probably kind of true, actually. I'll talk more about that. But just people started talking about it. I see the point you're coming from with this. I feel like this is another situation of, if it's not broke, don't fix it. There are plenty of guilds out there clearing with more than 25 plus players, so why stop them now seems kind of redundant. This is such a bad decision, even if the majority of guilds don't run 25. Give us the freedom. Give us freedom. Don't give us freedom just to remove it. I know several guilds running 25 upwards to a 35-man roster allows for attendance freedom. That is not possible with these caps. Now we're going to have to bench. Sucks. Please reconsider these changes, especially the 20 to 15 tribe groups have long formed around the flexibility of all this is going to hurt them. That's the one that I personally think it really hurts, is the 20-man to 15. At the very least, keep the 20-20, because I think a lot of guilds did what we did as Sod Saviors, and we went and did the 20-man roster. Like, we went and did our 20-man raid, like, as BWO 20, and then instead of splitting, we just blasted ZG. Because an important thing to note that this completely disregards And, you know, I'm a big fan of the dev team, and I always hype them up, and I'll tell them if they're wrong as well. But the biggest thing is, like, this, the loot competition point. People wanted the 40-man, and in SOD, like, original classic, we have 40 people competing for 2 to 3 pieces of loot. So, like, I don't get that point, because in SOD it's almost doubled. Like, we are getting 4 to 6 per loot. There are so many things of loot. There are so many options for loot that I just don't see that point being too relevant, because like, guilds are willingly choosing to raid that way, and it just sucks to give us freedom and have it taken away. But here's more. These are just people on the patch notes talking about it. This one has anniversary patch notes as well, so there's a lot of that talk. But this paladin here said that's tuned to 20. This is tuned to 10. Why? Just a lot of people in here that are talking about it. Can we please revert the cap? Side change? Our raid team has increased every week due to friends returning to SOD, and we need to kick 3 of them to cap at 25. Likely convince them to return. They can read freely and not come, and it wouldn't affect us. We're going to have to kick them from our raid team. Just straight up, those things happening, like, those are the problems that it's creating. And on the flip side, yeah, why change it from being able to have 40 people in raid to 25? Just more people talking about it, considering it, and all of these things. And my biggest thing, here's another one. Hey Blizzard, please revert the change limits from 20 to 40 to 15 and 25. This is going to cause issues for a lot of guilds right in that 30 character sweet spot. We'll either have to tell 5 people to quit or recruit a whole nother team. Also, some of us are raiding with 40 people, even if it's completely unnecessary. There's no other MMO that lets you do this. Please don't go forward with this size reduction change. So we just have plenty of people all throughout the forums. This is a SOD specific ones. And then, are you seriously going to lift the raid cap for AQ? Flex rated BWLMC was great. Now you've capped it again. So there's more people talking about it. Not too many more replies on SOD here with these SOD notes. But the point I want to make, most importantly, is it doesn't hurt anyone to allow that to be 40. If people are blasting it any way that, like, people rank themselves, parsing any of that sort of stuff with Warcraft logs, it is done at 20, man. The sweaties are going to be sweaty no matter what. It only hurts the casual players, the people who have community guilds, the people that bring all this in. Like, I know Sam Medina, he does community raids where he just brings 40 of his viewers in. Well, I don't do viewer raids, you know. If I ever were to do it, or if I could do it, that's what I would do. I would just say, hey, 40 people, let's go. Everyone come in here, let's go blast it. And to me, it just seems so wrong to punish such a small minority of the game. These people are just trying to play with, you know, more than 25 people, and with people having the choice of hardcore and having fresh, it's become ever more important. Like, I've tried to maintain our 2 rosters right now, and we have a raid tonight at the time of filming this video, and I have 3 slots I still have to fill. Just from people calling out, people quitting, people not wanting to raid on 2 characters and only going to 1. Just so many, like, things, and I think a lot of options are available for people. So if they're just gonna, like, I think people are just gonna give up instead of recruit, and I think that is such a bad idea. Like, it is such a mess for no reason. Like, are you worried people are gonna 40-man descend into madness? Well, the people that are gonna do that, those people are going to experience descent into madness because they probably can't do it with 20. So it's like, it's just it just confuses me, as all, because I imagine the descent into madness is the biggest worry, but, like, people are gonna do it regardless, right? Or they're just not gonna experience the new thing, and it being the new hype is just, I just don't know. I just don't see the reason for this change, and I'm making this video to hopefully get my thoughts, opinions, show that people actually hate it. And I just see no reason to punish 1% of the community if that 99% is accurate, just because you want to. Like, I just don't see it. But anyway, those are my thoughts. Those are my feelings on it. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. And if this video blows up, maybe Agrand and the Cyrene and all of them will see it, and maybe we can get some real change. But anyway, I truly hope you enjoyed this video. And until next time, I'll see you later. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Hey, you. Yes, you. Are you still there? Well, I appreciate you for taking the time to watch this entire video and making it to the end here. If you enjoyed this video, definitely check out the other videos about World of Warcraft listed in these playlists down below. And thank you again. Have a great day. Bye-bye.